Donald Trump should take some notes, because this is how you use a paper printout to properly prove your point and simultaneously dismantle your opponents.
But now it seems, Mr. Chairman, I just got past something that the whole obstruction gimmick may just be a fundraising ploy, which demeans the overwhelming legal integrity and impressive theatrical ambitions of this enterprise. I was just handed a mass fundraising email solicitation for your campaign that you sent out this evening, Mr. Chairman, stating that, quote, Biden and his advisors are terrified that I will release the recordings, forcing the media and Democrats to answer for the dismal decline of Biden's mental state. This could be the final blow to Biden with swing voters across the country. The Democrats are pulling out all the stops to stop the bleeding. Signed, James Comer, Chairman, House Oversight Committee. Now, I must confess my disappointment to be handed this fundraising solicitation, signed by you as Chairman of the House Oversight Committee. I thought that you were serious about the legal enterprise here and not just another political huckster calling hearings to score cheap political points and to make a buck.
I'm honestly kind of surprised. I mean, Raskin is a pretty smart guy, so he should know that the how and why for Republicans doing anything is as a political ploy and to make a quick buck. So Representative Jamie Raskin absolutely went in, tearing the chairman of the House Oversight Committee, James Comer, a new you-know-what for not having any ethics whatsoever. And I have another fantastic clip for you where Democrat Jared Moskowitz reads that aforementioned fundraising email in its entirety, and it is absolute gold. And we'll watch that in just a second and unpack all of the context around it. But real quick, if you wouldn't mind dropping a like and subscribing, it would really help the channel, and we greatly appreciate it. Now, on with the show.
Chair recognizes Mr. Moskowitz.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman. All right, so welcome to Oversight After Dark. If you love James Comer at 11 o'clock in the morning, you're really going to love him at 8:30 p.m. So, members, the hearing was moved today. We don't have to ask the question. The hearing was moved today so that members could go to New York and attend the Trump hearing. But how's he doing? He's complained that he's chilly in the courtroom. Is it chilly?
Court in a freezing courthouse. It's very cold in there on purpose, I believe. They don't seem to be able to get the temperature up.
Is it chilly?
Will the gentleman yield?
No, I'll assume it's
He's
chilly.
He's doing very good.
Okay, good. So, it was mentioned by the ranking member about really what we're doing here. You don't have to listen to my words. I would like to do a spirited reading of the campaign email sent out by the chairman. And it's on lovely stationery. In fact, it says, from the desk of the oversight chairman. I'm not sure you can do that, but I'm not an ethics expert. It says, friend. President Biden is exerting executive privilege in a last-ditch attempt to stop the disastrous audio recording of his interview with special counsel from being released. And it's highlighted in yellow. Want to make sure people saw that. Just a few months ago, the White House bragged that Joe Biden had nothing to hide and would not exert executive privilege during special counsel Hur's investigation. They even said he had nothing to hide. That's in italics. Now Biden and his advisors are terrified that I, James Comer, will release the recordings, forcing the media and the Democrats to answer for the dismal decline of Biden's mental state. He even had attorney Merrick Garland write a letter saying that his interview falls within the scope of executive privilege. This could be the final blow with swing voters across the country. Okay. You and I know, hold on, we're not done, it gets better. You and I know he's not up for the job, but the mainstream's media refusal to report on it as only keeping him in the game. Stand with Comer. The Democrats, you sure about that? The Democrats are pulling out all the stops to stop the bleeding. That means coming after me with everything they had. If you're able, we hope you are, I'd be so grateful if you'd consider making a donation to my campaign. I sure need it to defend against the onslaught of attacks. Thank you for everything. James Comer, Chairman of the House Oversight Committee. Without objection, I'd like to enter that into the record.
Without objection, so ordered.
All right, beautiful.
God, if anything sums that up, it is the word beautiful, because that was chef's kiss, people. And I have one more Moskowitz clip that we will end on, but first, I just want to give you kind of a broad overall context of what's going on here. In this MSNBC article, sums it up pretty well, so we'll go through a little bit of this. So it starts off, as GOP demands Biden-Hur audio, James Comer gives away the game. Democrats said James Comer is seeking the Biden-Hur audio, which, as we'll see, is the audio of Biden talking about his document case in an interview that he volunteered to give, which Trump never did. Trump never volunteered to go in front of the special counsel for Robert Mueller, nor for his documents case. So, Democrats say James Comer is seeking that audio recording as part of a partisan scheme. And a letter, which we just saw from Republicans, proved them right. So, full context. Early last year, President Joe Biden and his team made an unexpected announcement. After leaving the vice presidency, he inadvertently took some classified documents with him. Team Biden contacted the authorities, returned the materials, and announced plans to cooperate with any investigation. Soon after, Attorney Merrick Garland appoints Robert Hur to serve as the special counsel in the matter and eventually to prepare a report on his findings. The report concludes more or less how everyone would assume it would. The prosecutor decided not to indict, which is what actually happens when you do everything right.
I did everything right and they indicted me.
Hur wraps up his report, and then he does an interview with Biden that, like we said earlier, he volunteers to participate in. Meanwhile, Trump refuses. And in theory, that should be the end of it, right? But not for culture war charade Republicans, because they wanted that audio. They wanted it so bad, folks, because they knew it would incriminate Biden. Or would it? The Biden administration declined GOP lawmakers' request for the tape, and there's no great mystery as to why. Officials realized that the Republicans are simply looking for a political toy they can play with ahead of Election Day 2024. Former Republican Ken Buck, who literally quit the party because of this jackassery, admitted as much this week, explaining that Congress already has the transcript and relevant information, adding that his former GOP colleagues are just looking for something for political purposes. And damn if that don't sound like all the Republicans I know. Given that there's no legitimate or legislative reason to release the audio, Team Biden has asserted executive privilege. Odd that Republicans are so mad about the exertion of executive privilege when they're the ones trying to get their guy supreme immunity from anything. But this might be my favorite part right here. Congressional Republicans on cue have thrown fits over the refusal. 2 committees voted yesterday to hold Attorney General Merrick Garland in contempt. But one GOP lawmaker inadvertently gave away the game in a written letter to allies. And that, folks, is exactly what we witnessed. Just like in the Joe Biden impeachment hearing, there is no substance to any of this, other than them just trying to use it as a ploy for fundraising. These people are Donald Trump in different suits. They don't care about the rule of law. They don't care about wasting taxpayers' money. They just want power, and they just want more money. Money, please. So we'll end with the late night interview that Moskowitz did after the debaucherous hearing where he just destroyed James Comer along with Raskin, and what he had to say about the process and James Comer as a whole.
What happened last night?
Well, I mean, it was oversight after dark, oversight unplugged. We're a little bit better at 11 in the morning, but at 8 p.m., I guess we can't, all hell breaks loose. I mean, listen, why the hearing was moved. They moved the hearing so members could go to New York and snuggle with Donald Trump in the courtroom to keep him warm, because he's very chilly in the courtroom. They're keeping it cold on purpose. And so they literally moved this hearing to hold Merrick Garland in contempt for what? They turned over the transcript, which is what they asked for. They turned over all the corresponding documents for what they asked for. Robert Hur, the special prosecutor, came here, testified. He said there was no interference from DOJ or Merrick Garland. And now they want an audio tape, which they know, by the way, is against DOJ policy. We're still waiting for the audio tape from Dick Cheney in the Valerie Plame case because the DOJ doesn't release audio tapes. Okay, and this is just a distraction from their failed impeachment of Joe Biden, which isn't going to happen. But look, Marjorie Taylor Greene, missed motion to vacate. How's that going, Marge, if you're watching? I mean, she's just here obviously, to do this stuff. She's raised his money off of it. This is why gerrymandering is bad. If you want to know why gerrymandering is bad, just watch last night. She's the most unproductive member of Congress. We wouldn't let her name a post office. She has no friends here. And to go and attack Jasmine Crockett like that is totally out of order, was uncalled for, but she does it on purpose.
Could not have said it better myself, and I won't try to. I think he wraps things up pretty succinctly there, except for, and I will say that Jasmine Crockett attack, that is going to be the next video. So make sure you subscribe, like the video, hit notification bell so you get alerted when I upload that video, but I am going to be covering that next because there was an absolute cat fight in this same hearing, and I'm very excited. For Really American, I'm Kenny Hesse. I'll see you all in the next one.